Welcome to this new video. This time I want to speak about my ups and downs with having a stammer, because I think all of us have this. Sometimes our speaking is better, sometimes our speaking is worse. So I will start when I was a very young child. At one point when I was around 2.5 years old, my mom suddenly realized that I started to stutter. From one day to the next, it just started. And she has no idea why. It stayed like this through my whole primary school time till I was 10 years and a bit old, and that was the time when I should move on to high school. I remember one time lying in my bed and I was thinking, Daniel, you have a new start. High school, barely anyone knows you, barely anyone knows that you have a stammer. From now on, you won't stammer. I won't say that my stammer was gone. I'm not sure about whether it was totally gone. I can't say this for sure. But I know that it wasn't strong. It was very, very, very little maybe. And I know that I did a lot of things which I wouldn't have done when I would have a stammer. I remember meeting people and knowing that I wasn't scared of having a stammer. And this is not because I was brave, but simply it just worked. I was fluent. And it was like this for quite some time, till I was 14 and a bit years old. And then my dad became very sick. He had a brain cancer, and it was very soon clear that he will not survive it. And I can't say it for sure, but like whether it is in relation, but the worse his health condition got, the worse my speaking became. So it was a bit like this. And then when I was 16, he died. And since this is the time when my A-levels started, not the A-levels, but grade 11 is kind of like a restart with school. So many new students come, you have different subjects and everything. This is when the time started. And since then, there were just lots of ups and downs and ups and downs. I'm quite sure that my speaking became significantly better. Because if it would not have been better, I wouldn't have gone to the ship. The ship is called Logos Hope. It's a Christian ship, and I went there for 2 years. I will talk about this in other videos because it had such a big influence on my life. And my speaking was okay at the time, but I got exposed to a lot of difficult things. But over there I had to talk a lot, do many presentations and all these things, and it was just very challenging for me. So I would say my speaking became definitely much worse again, let's say around that level. And that's the time when I was asked to become a shift leader of around 35 people. I was quite terrified because I knew every morning, every evening I have to stand in front of the whole group and talk to them and motivate them and be bold and be serious sometimes. And during the day I have to talk the whole time to all the people. And it was already challenging as a normal member, but suddenly I should become a leader. But when I became a leader, my speaking became quite good. My stammer wasn't gone. I was quite lucky that some stuff really went well, that there are situations where I know my speaking is better and there are situations where it's worse, and I didn't have many of those situations where I tend to have a worse speaking, but more of the situations where I tend to have a better speaking. So it was really on a good level. And also when I went home from the ship, it was still quite okay. But then I started to go to university where I'm right now, and my speaking became worse again. It's not that it went horrible, but it started to have some, fluctuating, and I would say right now I'm at not that bad, pretty bad time, somewhere around here. Yeah, my speaking is right now not that good. It might also be because I'm quite scared, because I have to do some job interviews for my internship. I right now applied for 2 internships, and I know that I will have interviews on the phone and in person, and it just terrifies me because a stammer is just the worst thing. It's just, you don't want to have a stammer when you're in a job interview. And I tell you, when there are other people around with which I talk, my speaking is not like this. I'm right now super fluent. I can be like extremely, I can have blocks where I can't get out any words. I'm very terrified of that. But anyway, this is how my speaking curve looks like during my life. And I'm interested in your life, how your speaking went, at which age did your stuttering started, how did it change during the years, how was your school time, and this kind of stuff. I remember during my school time here, when I was doing my A-levels, there were days where I couldn't get any word out of my, like any sentence, any full sentence out of my mouth. Not a single sentence out of my mouth. There were some days, not long times, but there were days which were really horrible. And right now it's not that bad that I don't get any sentence out of my mouth, but I do have some big struggles. So this is how it is. Thank you for watching and see you.